I think the promise that this tent holds is that the presence of God is there. There's been a precedent of people being healed. And so you go there, and as a result of that, that atmosphere carries a momentum that you could be broken on the outside. You can be broken on the inside. But the miracle of God can set you free from the narrative of whatever it is that's held you back and held you out.
This film, Living Proof, is about a church miracle service event. The creators of this event set up a massive tent, and people from all over the area come and gather to attend the service, where they all talk about God and the concept of miracles and inspiring people to believe in God and the power it can have to heal certain ailments. I think the stories were all really well developed and interesting to hear, and I think it's fascinating how big of an event this grew to be and how many people they were able to gather. I think the interview format of this documentary made each story very detailed, and the hope they all feel made it engaging to keep watching. I think the whole film looked very professional and really high quality, which I think is also really great.
This documentary touched my soul. It touched something I've been personally struggling with, and it really touched my spirit to see answers. I saw people who were struggling and found their miracles. The fact that they got a whole community involved and whole tents, it's miraculous in and of itself. This documentary should really be shown to anybody who's struggling with faith, struggling with the concept of, do prayers work? Do miracles still exist? This documentary shows it. It doesn't just tell you about it through experts. It actually shows you the healing of certain people who can testify to it. It makes it a very powerful documentary because it kind of shows you how to get the answers that most people need. I mean, it even shows a man who was an atheist, who was actually in the throes of committing suicide when a neighbor came to him and led him into this living proof tent. And he got healed because somehow this minister is able to just call people out that he's never met before. It's really a miracle on what he's doing, and he is doing God's work. It's just, hopefully one day he reaches everybody. This is just a beautiful documentary. You can't turn away from it. It will touch the spirit of anyone who watches it because they'll see that there is a God and that through belief you can be healed from whatever ails you. It's a very powerful documentary and something I didn't know was going on. I live in the state of Colorado, and I'd never even heard this was in Colorado Springs. It's something that should have been spread far and wide, probably throughout the whole state. He should probably get people throughout the whole country, if not the whole world, because it's something that I think more people would go to hear what he has to say, and most importantly, just be healed from cancer, depression, or whatever else is ailing them at the moment. This is a beautiful documentary.
I am living proof. Wow, it was a very interesting documentary to watch. I didn't know what to expect when it first started, but I thought it was very well done. I think that it provides some interesting evidence on the way these events happened. The moments when we see people praying and walking together are very powerful. And I really like it to know the perspective of different characters about how they became believers. It was, even though it's a religious documentary, I think it was pretty well done because it invites the viewer to think about what they're trying to explain, and invites the audience to become more involved in this kind of events, this kind of communities. So it was an amazing effort. Well done.
I am living proof. So, there are two things to analyze here: form and content, very separately. From a storytelling perspective, from a filmmaking visual perspective, I am living proof grabs you from the start. The way it weaves together the introduction, the religion, with the lives of Bree, Steve, and Mary. Each dealing with life-altering struggles is really compelling. The pacing keeps you really engaged. You feel for these characters, and the build up to their eventual intersection is really powerful. Visually, it looks beautiful. The shots are intense, colorful, interesting. When it comes to content, of course, with such a difficult subject, from my perspective, which is a non-religious but I guess spiritually aware perspective, I felt like the film leans heavily into almost like propaganda. While I get that this film is about faith and redemption, it would have been, for me, a bit more impactful, again, from a storytelling perspective, if it took more of a nuanced, self-aware approach that is aware of the perception of religion in today's culture. Because I think it's easy to draw in on an audience who feels hopeless, but a broader, more reflective conversation about faith could have given it just a bit more depth and would have been more interesting for an audience who's not religious or Christian. This is just my perspective, but aside from the content, the message, I think this is a really well-crafted film, structured really well, grabs you from the beginning, and I definitely wanted to keep watching, wanted to know more about how religion helped the lives of these people. So that's just, I guess, more of a personal, more emotional comment. But from a technical point of view, it's perfect.